Hi everyone, this is Emmy from our advisors. Today, I want to talk about the Goldman Sachs internship and how to secure a job offer. I will be discussing the ultimate guide, specifically the 7 ultimate steps. Originally, I was in the investment banking division at Goldman Sachs, and together with TJ, I want to share these secrets with you. At Alpha Advisors, we have been supporting students as well as MBA and career start candidates for the past 17 years. We've guided many people to top industries, particularly in investment banking, M&A, as well as hedge funds and asset management. This includes Alpha's special training and interview practice, as well as document preparation like resumes and cover letters. We provide total support, and everyone has achieved remarkable results. In the finance sector, we've had people join Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, and also McKinsey. Additionally, there are those who have entered PE funds like Carlyle and KKR. Today, I would like to talk with TJ, the founder of Alpha. After graduating from the Chicago MBA program, TJ joined Goldman Sachs as an investment banker and has been supporting everyone at Alpha for 17 years now. We have about 50,000 members, including those in investment banking, consulting, and also the tech industry. In the US and around the world, they are getting jobs. Today, we have many inquiries about preparing for positions in the US, especially at Goldman Sachs, and practicing for interviews. I would like to introduce some of these consultations as we go along. So yes, the presenter, yes, there's one more person. I, Emmy, will be facilitating. If you definitely want to join Goldman or McKinsey or BlackRock or any top-tier industry, please consult with us here. First, we will listen to your situation, and then we will introduce you to the appropriate Alpha training. Now, let's move on to the first consultation. TJ, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Well, starting with Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, JP Morgan, and so on, regarding their summer internships and full-time job offers. To secure them at Alpha Advisors, we provide extremely comprehensive support. We assist everyone in obtaining offers. It is indeed quite challenging with many processes involved. It's often unclear what exactly should be done. Many people, whether undergraduates, graduates, or MBA students, don't know, so we thoroughly explain those aspects. This support is really technical, involving things like M&A valuation models or LBO models. There is training for things like DCF, but actually, many people fail in interviews or due to a lack of references, whether it's Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, or any other company. They often don't fully understand the characteristics of the company. This leads to them being unable to answer questions like why Goldman Sachs or why investment banking? Why do you want to work there? Why, for example, do you want to work in the investment banking division or in fixed income and equity capital markets or in research? The reasons are often unclear. Many people tend to focus only on the technical aspects. As a countermeasure, while it's important, it's actually not that crucial. I feel that globally, there are many people who are overly focused on technical preparations. At Alpha, we emphasize questions like, why investment banking in the first place? What do you really want to do? What are your strengths and why this company? For example, why does Goldman Sachs fit you? We thoroughly explore these aspects and support everyone in preparing for their job interviews. Of course, we also ensure that the technical aspects are fully covered. Recently, with AI, we've been working at Alpha for 17 years. So there's that AI aspect as well. It's AI driven, we've also developed technical strategies for that. And by doing so, everyone is securing offers from top investment bankers, even making them cry. By all means. For those who want to secure summer internships and job offers from top investment banks, starting with Goldman, whether you're an undergraduate, a graduate student, or a professional, I recommend consulting with Alpha as soon as possible. So today, I will talk about the entire recruitment process of investment banks, starting with Goldman, what they are looking for, what is important, and what kind of strategies you should adopt with Alpha. So please watch until the end. For those who are eager to enter investment banking and secure an offer, I recommend consulting with Alpha as soon as possible, as we can provide various support. Please make sure to watch carefully until the end and consult with Alpha.
Yes? You can consult with us from here. We look forward to hearing from you. Now, I would like to introduce the first consultation. This is from a college junior, So Armand Jr., studying at a US college, majoring in finance with a goal to join Goldman Sachs in investment banking. The vision is in New York. As a summer analyst at a target school, I face challenges in competing with peers from top universities and am seeking advice on strengthening my candidacy, including tailoring my resume, building relevant skills, and networking effectively with Goldman Sachs professionals. So, what do you think about this?
Yes, thank you. Well, if you don't get a summer internship offer, basically you won't be able to get a full-time offer. For those in their second or third year of university, it's important to start preparing early. Securing a spot in an investment bank's summer internship is very crucial. And well, I think it's very competitive, especially for target schools like the Ivy League or liberal arts colleges. Even other universities are regularly recruited by companies like Goldman Sachs. So in that sense, it's quite the opposite. How much? How much preparation you have done is really important. Conversely, even people from Ivy League schools who haven't prepared much tend to get rejected quickly. Similarly, those who don't secure proper references also get rejected quickly. So I feel like there aren't many people who take it seriously. Therefore, regardless of the university, there are opportunities. And if you commit yourself and prepare thoroughly, for example, by understanding capital markets, M&A, recent global deal funding trends, or what trends exist in M&A, as well as TOEFL or MBO, and the M&A situation in Japan, Asia, the world, America, Europe, and globally, everyone. Becoming knowledgeable about these is extremely important. Moreover, when it comes to recent topics like what's happening with the M&A you're interested in, or what kind of deals you want to pursue, or what business opportunities you think exist, how you respond to these questions is crucial. If you can overwhelmingly demonstrate that you're genuinely committed to working in this field, then there's hardly any difference between universities. That's why there are quite a few people who apply to places like Goldman just because they want to, without much thought, and many are not well prepared. In that sense, if you prepare thoroughly and perfectly with Alpha, there's a good chance you can get into Goldman or other investment banks, regardless of which university you attend. I highly recommend coming to Alpha to prepare thoroughly.
All right. Let's move on to the next inquiry. This one is from a othe senior. I'm a senior at IV, and I secured an interview for a summer analyst role in the sponge division at Goldman Sachs in New York. I am excited, but I want to ensure I'm fully prepared. I value your advice on mastering technical questions, excelling in behavioral interviews, and approaching common IBD questions. Could we discuss preparations or recommended resources? Your guidance would mean a lot. Yes, thank you. Right, there are interviews and super days, among other things.
Those behavioral questions and also the cover letter. Yes, and then please, questions or technical questions. Well, in everything tough, basically, in the end, a good performance in the interview. If you receive a good evaluation, you can move on to the next step. So it's really important not to neglect this part. Especially at the beginning, recently, I think everyone is familiar with higher view interviews. It's what we call an AI interview. Many people get rejected in that. The AI interview or higher view interview is often underestimated by many people. That's essentially the first round of screening. If you fail there, you almost lose your chances afterward. So for the higher view interview and the subsequent behavioral and technical questions, if you prepare thoroughly, there shouldn't be any issues. At Alpha, we have almost all the questions and answers tailored to each of you. Well, it's an interview. There's not always a single correct answer. In the end, it's about who you are as a person, what values you hold, why you want to work at Goldman Sachs, why you want to work in that particular department, and what you have done so far to achieve that. It's about consistency, values, and your personality. All of these are being evaluated. So it's extremely important to prepare thoroughly for this. And this isn't something you typically learn in school. At places like the Career Center, Career Office, or perhaps the Investment Banking Club, the preparation tends to be somewhat inadequate. Therefore, you can't win there, almost never. It's crucial to thoroughly understand professionalism at Alpha. We, of course, provide support, and being able to respond with consistency and specificity is extremely important. I think not many people really understand this. There aren't many people saying this. Everyone is just like, let's study M&A valuations, but it's not that important. Well, from the perspective of those who have been accepted, and I was in investment banking too. From that perspective, it seems like everyone is putting a lot of effort into something that's not that important. So it's not like that. Please come to Alpha, and we'll teach you everything you need to prepare thoroughly. Bendi, we'll tell you what kind of questions will come up, and we'll help you prepare all the answers. We also check everything for you. We do detailed work to significantly improve the quality of your responses, bringing them to the maximum level. We are also doing the work that comes out. So please come to Alpha early and thoroughly prepare for investment banking. I believe you can win overwhelmingly. Yes.
Yes. This is for current MBA students. I am an MBA student at Booth targeting a full-time position in the social investment banking division. I am preparing my application and interview materials, and I am consulting with Wally or Xbox about a review of my cover letter and feedback on my LBO modeling skills, including practice with technical questions to strengthen my interview performance.
Yes, thank you. That's right. We provide considerable support and guidance for MBA students at Alpha, helping them get into investment banking, asset management, consulting, or companies like Google and other GAFA firms. We would love for you to join us. And yes, well, in reality, many people often tend to write cover letters in a casual manner. And as I mentioned earlier, why you want to work at that investment bank, what kind of work you want to do, and why that is, then why this company, why Goldman Sachs, why Bank of America, and so on, and what kind of contributions you can make, all within one page of the letter. Include it as part of your presentation materials as your appeal document. You have to submit it. This is an extremely important document. We review a lot of them, and for more than 90% of people, the content is very poor. It's quite weak. And it's not logical at all. Like, why does this person want to work in an investment bank? Why, for example, do they want to do investment banking or research? Why do they want to pick an equity? Or why do they want to be a trader? It's completely unclear when reading it. So I think most people fail at that point. And things like the Levy model, I think it's fine to have that knowledge. But what's more important is your cover letter and resume. And well, the so-called AI interview. If you don't get through this, you can't proceed to the real AIM interview with the company's employees. So it's really important to properly go through the steps and overcome them. Most people underestimate the cover letter. Yes, so regarding resumes and cover letters, many people underestimate the AI interview process, which is why they fail. This is a fact that hasn't changed over the 17 years we've been supporting discussions. Therefore, I believe you all have written cover letters and resumes. Please feel free to send them over. I will provide comments on them, and if you want to further refine them, we can help with that as well. First, focus on the logic and then proceed to the interview. Consider how you can contribute to an investment bank like Goldman Sachs, and why you are not choosing asset management, for example. They will ask why you chose IBD and not another department, among other things. How will you ensure consistency there? Being able to explain it convincingly is extremely important. And of course, there are technical questions. But even if they come up, it's only 2 or 3. However, to handle those 2 or 3, you probably need to prepare for 200 to 300 technical questions. But MBA students are studying finance and M&A, right? Well, then there's the part where you need to review the areas you're lacking in. Also, the current movements in the capital markets. Stocks are fluctuating wildly, and there are policy movements as well. Yes, you need to understand how these are affecting global capital types and capital markets, and which markets are going to be hot in the future. You need to have your own analysis and view on these hot areas. Including those aspects at Alpha, we thoroughly focus on everyone's. We provide support to deepen your knowledge. So if the content is really shallow or superficial, it gives the impression that this person can't think beyond this level. It goes straight to the trash. So I hope you avoid writing such cover letters. We receive many requests to review cover letters, so please feel free to send them to us. For example, with AI, you might be able to write it, but it's hard to achieve depth. Yes, I hope you will have Alba check it before submitting. Of course, we also do LBO modeling, so if you want to brush up on your technical skills, please feel free to consult with us.
Yes. So the process is to actually secure an internship offer from Goldman Sachs, my BD, and eventually secure a full-time offer. It's written here.
Yes, the first step is the online application where you need to submit your CV and resume. Then there's the higher view, and if you pass the higher view, it leads to the first round interview. From there, there's a super day, and then an offer is made. Well, how about the interviews? It really depends on the department, but for Goldman, there are usually quite a few. Generally speaking, yes. In total, you might meet with at least 7 or 8 people, having conversations with them. So you can't really deceive them much. The difference between those who are well prepared and those who aren't becomes very clear. With such a process, if you thoroughly prepare with Alpha for the source, it will go well. Well, you might think it's quite challenging. However, it's very important to break through each step in this process. And well, the point is, after all, it's extremely competitive. Of course, technical skills like DCF or LBO models, M&A, and capital market knowledge are necessary. Also, a focus on behavior such as YGS or leadership experience is important. They are deeply evaluated. And then, of course, aspects like leadership, communication skills, integrity, and stress resilience are assessed. Well, as you all know, referrals are extremely important. This isn't just about investment, banking, but rather it's a broader topic. Referrals from employees, not just at GS, but from employees in general, can increase the pass rate to over 50%. Right? Therefore, securing friendly referrals is an extremely important strategy. And at Alpha, we also provide guidance on these aspects. Yes, let's definitely work on creating various strategies. Now, regarding preparation. Well, as tips for preparation. As I mentioned earlier, it's important to build your network early to secure referrals. The second point is to practice rigorously, which means conducting mock interviews for case studies and behavioral questions. It's crucial to do this thoroughly. From checking the content to preparing for the interview, it's very important to do it properly. Yes. Then the 7 key steps to secure an offer, for example, at Goldman Sachs IBD, although it's not limited to IBD or Goldman Sachs. It's just an example. But the first step is to understand the company's culture. For instance, if it's GS, they emphasize teamwork a lot. So it's all about teamwork, 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 or client focus and excellence. Next, it's about mastering technical skills. Then, as I mentioned earlier, It's important to establish a system where you can leverage referrals. Having strong referrals is very beneficial, and that's the fourth point. Yes. And then aspects like what you might call YGS or leadership qualities are always asked about. These are behavioral questions. People tend to think about these on their own, but they often lack persuasiveness. Since it involves YGS or investment banking, it's essential to have Alpha check it and get approval before discussing it. It's truly a one-time opportunity. If you fail the summer internship, then well, if you miss out on Goldman Sachs, for example, then Morgan Stanley, get accepted and then do a summer internship at Morgan Stanley and try to get a full-time offer from Goldman Sachs again. If there's an opening, if there's a position, such things can happen. But generally, those who fail tend to fail across the board. So thorough preparation is extremely important. Also, for the super day, let's prepare for things like case studies and fitness. And then, yes, applying early is important, meaning applying as soon as possible. I think that's the most important thing. So we discuss strategic aspects of applications, like when and where to apply and which company's position to apply for, and we work on these together. At Alpha, this is necessary. We provide all the support for that. We provide this as individual advice for investment banking like Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley or Bank of America and JP Morgan. If you want to get an offer or secure a position there, please contact Alpha as soon as possible.
Yes, this is all the support that Alpha provides. I just talked about the 7 tips, the midsummer strategy, and we support all of that. We offer comprehensive technical training, of course. We repeat this over and over, especially for those targeting an MBA. TJ has already prepared everything, including practical technical interview training. Training is also available. The second point is behavioral interview coaching, such as with YGS or Y Investment Bank. Those kinds of behaviors. It's about preparation, preparing for questions. There is information available in various places, but many people end up talking as if they are just explaining what an investment bank is, so this too. You can create the strongest logic at Alpha that can persuade the recruiter and gain their empathy. Then there's the preparation for the case study. You can practice repeatedly by assuming actual case studies. Everyone gains a lot of confidence, and with that confidence, they can talk to recruiters and GS employees when networking. How to connect is something that seniors already know. There might be graduates from your school who are in GS's IBD, and for those who don't have a network, how to go about networking. We also handle referrals. So is that the fourth? No, the fifth. And the sixth is about the actual experience at the supermarket. Practical training. This is also intended for interviews where we conduct mock interview practice as if it were the real thing. And finally, the application process. We provide feedback on your CV and cover letter, which are the first points of contact with companies. This is the most important, geared. First of all, it's important as it's the first contact, so please feel free to reach out to the free consultation chat. First, if you show us your CV and cover letter, we will provide comments. If you want comments on your CV and cover letter, please consult through the box on this website. Whether you already have an upcoming interview or don't know where to start yet, it doesn't matter what stage you're at. Please feel free to consult, truly, every year. Generally, yes, after the recruiting activities are over, we often receive consultations from people who couldn't secure an interview or weren't called for interviews at all. So, I hope you contact us early before failing, and I want everyone to successfully secure positions at Goldman Sachs or in investment banking. We look forward to hearing from you.
Yes, that's right. At Alba, we provide support not only for investment banking, but also for asset management, hedge funds, and companies like GAFA, Ikondai, as well as consulting firms. We help secure offers from top companies and summer internships. We are the best in the world. We have the know-how, and you can leverage it overwhelmingly. Yes, once you get into a place like Goldman, then after that, with your track record, you can then move on to a PE fund. You can go to a hedge fund, become an activist, or even become a CFO. There are many possibilities, so it's important to thoroughly prepare for each battle without wasting any opportunity. Moreover, since it's a global competition, very talented people will be coming in. Quite a few people are surprisingly doing things haphazardly. If you prepare properly with Alpha, you can win, and we have been helping people win. So, if you want to decisively beat your rivals next to you, then please consult with Alpha through our consultation site. If you could provide us with your current situation, then right away, Emmy will handle it. We will edit it, so please feel free to consult or contact us. Yes, we hope you will effectively utilize Alpha to achieve even greater success. Yes, with that, we look forward to the opportunity to speak with each of you individually. Goodbye, goodbye.